Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Google CS First Hangout on Air with Teach for America. My name is Joe Holbert, and I was a 2011 Chicago core member with Teach for America. I'm now part of the CS First team, and here with me is my wonderful colleague, Taylor Green.
Hey guys, we'd like to give a shout out to everyone on the West Coast who are hanging out with us today, and also a shout out to everyone on the East Coast who are staying up late with us tonight. This Hangout is designed to provide a quick overview of the CS First program and how to set up your own CS First Club. While this Hangout is for Teach for America teachers, we'd like to welcome everyone to the Hangout as well, and let you know that anyone can start a CS First Club at any time. For those new to Hangouts on Air, we're coming to you live from Google. You can ask questions in real time that we will answer during the next hour.
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor. A couple ways to ask your questions. You can write your question in the comment section or use the Q&A icon on your screen. Additionally, we have a live transcriptionist, which can be found in the link in the description on the events page. Feel free to click that and follow along. Additionally, our video is going to be posted later, so you can view it at any time on YouTube. I think that's pretty exciting.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, so with CS First, one of our key objectives was tackling access. So we provide access to computer science education to individuals who have traditionally lacked access, who have not been represented in the tech sector, such as females and communities of color. 57% of the workforce is female, but 26% of IT jobs are held by women. Race on top of gender, the percentage of women of color in information technology or IT is significantly smaller.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yep.
I think that's something really important to address, and I'm glad that our program does a little bit of that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we're going to cover a little bit of the details and logistics, as well as share the club structure of CS First. So a couple of things. Our curricula are theme-based. We have game design, music and sound, and storytelling. And the exciting thing about having theme-based curricula is that it's really designed to get in touch with and engage students with things that they're already interested in. The themes themselves are 8 club sessions long, and each one of those sessions is about 60 to 90 minutes, and most people decide to run these clubs 2 days a week, so maybe a Monday and a Wednesday, or a Tuesday and Thursday.
Definitely, and you can make the club run however long you want to, and on whatever day you would like. So if you have access to a group of students on a Saturday, you can run a club for 75 minutes. It's all flexible and up to you.
Yeah, we've even seen people do it during the school day, which is really cool. All right, great. Next, we're going to actually look at some of our materials that we have over here. So first, let's check out the headphones. So we've got some awesome Google CS First headphones. The reason we have all these materials is we know that some schools and some clubs will actually request and need some support. We've actually designed some physical materials as well. One of the student materials is a club passport, and Taylor's going to tell you a little bit about that.
Great, so as you guys can see here, it has some of the blocks that the students use, which is part of the code on Scratch. They can put in their club notes, and they can put in their badges, and it also has a few resources for the students to refer to as they're going through the CS First Club. So it makes it really, really fun, really colorful.
And what are badges?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay, all right, great. So one more thing to point out, at the very end, it's nice to pass out a certificate to those students. So we also have certificates that come in. Additionally, each one of the club sets will be a set of 30, and that's just to accommodate clubs of different sizes. So we wanted to make sure that we send enough for you to use.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
So going back to the badges, after every club day, they create a specific project, and that project stands alone, and the students get a club badge. It's basically a sticker that they can put in their passport that says that they completed the club and that they had a great time.
Awesome. Okay, do you want to tell us about a typical club day?
Yep. So in a typical club day, the host, which would be the person who's in charge accessing the students, they introduce the topic, whether it's the definitions or any concepts related to the computer science curriculum. And then students watch a series of videos, and they build a computer science project of their own. They run the themes back to back. So once you're done with, say, music and sound, you can also pick up games and design right after that. And so you'll have 8 days worth of one curriculum, then 8 days worth of another. You can see returning students, or just the same group. Different students are going to gravitate to whatever they feel interested in, and that's the best part about CS First.
Yeah. I just want to point out real quick on the slide that we have up, the yellow section right there, this is sort of the core component of the day. And students are essentially watching a video that we've created. It's really fun and engaging. And then they're going to a program on a website called Scratch, and that's where they're actually creating their programs and their coding. So that's sort of the bulk of the day, and we have some other things like the intro and the wrap-up that you can see here. But we just wanted to point that out so you can start to get a feel of, sort of the club structure and what's going on.
That's right.
Cool.
And as you have the other themes that are on the CS First site, First have some coming up, such as art and fashion and a few others. So when you launch a CS First Club right now, by the time you're done with that one, there'll probably be another theme up there for you to use.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. We love suggestions and feedback as we continue to build. So we're definitely open to that. And you can also contact us on our CS First website. We'll show you that link later. And then clubs can run after school, during school, or over the summer months. CS First is very flexible, so do whatever works best for you and your group of students.
Yeah, and as we talk about CS First and you learn the structure, I think Taylor really hit it on the head. It is designed for you. So as you think about, can we do this, the answer is going to be yes. So keep that in mind, which is really exciting. All right, right now we'll tell you a little bit about sort of CS First and how we got started. Our group is composed of half educators and half computer scientists, and this has really allowed us to sort of bring in both of the aspects that you see as our product, the CS First website and program. It's really exciting. In the last 5 weeks, we've actually grown about 150%, and now we have over 200 clubs in over 25 states. We're going to show you where they are. This is sort of more the East Coast, but you can see that there's CS First clubs all over the country, and we've worked with over 2,100 students so far. Super exciting. And one of these hosts we actually have tonight with you. His name is Brad Peterson. He's out in Houston, Texas, and he has taken some time to spend with us tonight. And we just want to say thank you in advance and really welcome him to share about his club and his club experience. So, Brad?
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
Yep.
Sure, yeah. I just wanted to share some of my experience with the Google CS First Club. I'm a second year Teaching for America core member, and last year I had experimented integrating some different coding websites and things into my 4th grade classroom, and nothing was really working as great as I wanted it to. And over the summer I found out about Google CS First, so I sent an email to you, and actually we got together, and now I just finished up my 4th week today of running the club, and things are going awesome. It's really easy. Time is so valuable for me as a teacher, and I love the plans are all pre-made. The kids are having a blast, and I don't know. I just feel like it's an amazing opportunity for my students that they probably wouldn't be able to receive elsewhere.
Well, great. Thank you, Brad, so much for sharing with us. Just a couple of questions to bring up some of your points. As a teacher, you mentioned your time is really valuable. What are some of the things in the CS First kit and website that really allow you to use it effectively?
The thing that I love the most is having the lesson plans pre-made and pre-sent in the kit, so I can read through them, the day before, get comfortable with the material in, a few minutes, and then reference them throughout the lesson, as well as on the website. It's just really easy to navigate and really easy for the kids to work too. So I don't know too much about technology or computer science, but I've been able to run this club by myself really easily, so it's been great.
All right, Brad, I have another question. For your students who are in the club, what's the best part?
The best part for the kids in the club is when we do the showcase, which is each week students are randomly chosen through a program on the computer to show some of their stuff, their projects they've created the week before, and the kids just go crazy for it. They get their passports out and check to see if their number matches up with the random number chosen, and they love giving shout outs to their teammates and everything. It's just a real fun atmosphere.
Yeah, Brad, thanks for saying that. It's a great point to bring up. CS First, of course, we actually designed this to build encouragement and confidence and a sense of belonging in technology. So to hear you say the words like teamwork and shouting out to each other, that positive club atmosphere is something we really wanted to instill. So thanks for saying that. One final question. You're halfway through your first club. And I'm just wondering what's next. What do you plan to do?
The next step for me definitely is to continue with the different clubs. Already I've seen new units and themes popping up on CS First, so I'm really excited to keep going. The kids are loving it, and I'm planning to kind of scale it out through the school and get as many students involved as I can.
Well, Brad, thank you again so much for sharing not only your experience, but just sort of your excitement and your engagement and joy around that. So really appreciate your time. As a reminder, Brad, I want to point this out. You don't actually need to be a computer science teacher or a STEM teacher. You can be an art teacher. You can be a after-school program coordinator.
Anything.
Yeah. So we really tried to design this for people both with backgrounds in STEM and computer science, but also for teachers and student leaders such as community organizers, program coordinators. We want everyone to have enough materials and resources to be successful in running these clubs. So Brad, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things you're probably wondering at this point is, how did Brad get started? How do you start a CS First club? So what are we going to do, Taylor?
So first we're going to demo the CS First website, and then we're going to demo how to set up a club. So on our website, you'll see the training tab. On this tab will show you all of what you need to know about CS First. See the first few videos are structure of day 1, a typical CS First day, how to prepare your club. Those are 2 videos to kind of give you a general idea of how to set up. And most people, when they go through the training, they watch the first 3 videos, they go through the club maybe 1 or 2 times, and then they come back to the training to find out some more resources that are more specific to things they want to work on. Yeah. So everything you want to learn is right here.
Yeah, one of the things that I personally like, Scratch was a new tool to me. So we actually have 2 really nice Scratch videos that show you the basics of how to build a program, and this keeps you a little bit ahead of the curve on the students, which is nice, so you can feel a little bit confident leading a club.
Absolutely. And the next tab we're going to go to is the Create tab. This is what the students see, and we're going to try out Scratch music and sound. It's definitely my favorite. And if you click on day 2, these are the videos that the students watch. So the format is, like the agenda set, watch video and then go to Scratch and code. Then watch a little bit more video and learn some more concepts and then code. And as they're doing that, they're building their CS First projects.
Cool.
Yep.
You can just sort of see, they would go through the series of videos. They'd be coding the whole time. They'd be talking like Brad's students do. And they would just end up with a nice project. One thing to point out, I've never seen the same project created twice, have you?
I've never seen that happen twice, and that is due to our add-on section. The students have the opportunity to kind of customize their projects and diverge into the core, from the core. So after they have a core project, which can be done in the minimum time of a CS First club, then they can start adding different styles of music and different other add-ons onto their project. What this does is it actually allows students who are a little bit more faster than others, and for students who just want to customize and keep coding, this allows them to keep going with that.
Well, if it were up to me, I think I'd pick Bust a Move. Just saying. I'm just saying.
I recommend something else.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm not the best at dancing.
That's all right.
All right, cool. What's next?
The next is our club plans.
Okay.
So all of the teacher and adult resources, including the club plans, marking materials, the agenda timer, all of that is here. You can see they're very similar to what a lesson plan might look like. So if you click on it, you can see the example project, so what the student should make by the end of the day, the showcase selector, which Brad mentioned, which kind of selects the student and showcases their work, and then the agenda timer. All of that is built here, and then if you're really unfamiliar with how a CS First Club works, and you want some scripts, we provided that for you.
Yeah, I've actually I've heard several hosts and teachers say, you know, I love the detail, I love the scripts. They're there for me if I want,
Right.
and I don't have to follow them verbatim if I'm feeling like doing something different.
Yep, it takes us back to the flexibility of CS First. If you want to implement some other things part of your class, like say you have a math class and you want to do a CS First club, and you want to add some other concepts to it, feel free to do that. CS First will do whatever you need it to do. Make it work for you guys.
Awesome. Okay, what's next?
Next, we're going to demo setting up a club.
Okay.
So let's click on the Get Involved tab. And then the red button that says Sign In with Google.
Okay, now am I going to set up my own club right now?
Let's do it.
Okay, I like it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can use your Gmail or any other email. You don't have to use a Gmail account. You can create an account or use any other email address. Look, I sounded
That's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to use my email right here, and I'm going to put in my password. Great.
Awesome.
Okay. Now I've signed in. A couple of permissions. Of course, read this. Accept if you want. Okay. And
Good.
Taylor, as it's loading,
Yes.
I would love to hear, you've run a couple CS First clubs yourself. What was your most positive experience? What sticks out in your mind?
It's probably one of the most powerful experiences that I've had with CS First. And I was in a school, and there was just a whole bunch of guys in there, and they were African-American males, and they were running on the Music and Sound Club. It was really exciting because they were balancing with their headphones on, and they were chatting with each other and coding. And it's something I've never seen before. In any other media outlet or any other article that's been talked about, I've never seen that group of guys coding and actually building projects and understanding what was happening.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
It was
Yeah,
all the good things.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now that we have our edit roles, I've got a couple of choices. You know, as a teacher, as somebody else who's run a CS First club, who am I?
You are a host.
Okay.
So it means you have access to a group of students and computers. Like we mentioned before, you don't have to be a teacher. You can be an administrator. You can run an after-school club or a summer club. That's who you are. You have access to a group of students and computers.
Okay. Can I be multiple people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if you want to click another one, you can, like a follower or advocate. That's just someone who wants to learn more about CS First and their local community.
Well, I think I'll check those two.
Perfect.
Great.
All right, so as you save your roles, you're going to next select your location. We're going to select Dutch Fork Middle School.
Okay, give me 1 second. Dutch Fork Middle School. Is there any backstory to that?
Backstory is that is where I went to middle school. There wasn't a CS First club there. But it's just my hometown back in Irmo, South Carolina.
Awesome.
And you're going to click Host.
Okay, great. Looks like I probably need to save my location next.
Please do.
Okay,
Yep.
let me slide down. Great, looks like there's a couple Dutch Fork Middle Schools.
I have to find those out.
Okay, well, we'll be the one in South Carolina. Great.
Good.
Let's see.
And now the next step is creating a club. So there's some text here that shows you what a club looks like, basically what we just discussed. And if at any point that you ever need assistance or have a couple of questions, please feel free to go to csfirst-info@google.com. Email us. We're always waiting for you, and we're here to help you guys out.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And just one thing to say is, you know, what are you building yourself? Setting up a club only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We've made it really easy. We don't want you to have to spend a lot of time on it. And what we really want to do is get you resources and materials so that you can start working with students to teach them some computer science.
Absolutely.
So I guess let's create a club.
We're going to create a club.
Awesome.
All right. And since Scratch Music and Sound is my favorite, we're going to pick that theme. We'd like to mention that there is some text around which themes are happening and kind of an idea what it looks like. You can check out the club plans or the student videos or both, and you can have a visual of what the club will look like.
Awesome. Now, it looks like there's 3 themes. Didn't you mention that there were more?
Those are upcoming, yes.
Oh, great, so I should just check back.
You should always check back. As you're running your CS First club, say you start next month, by the time you're done running that club, there will probably be another CS First theme coming up or already out there ready for you guys to go.
Wonderful. So, music and sound?
Music and sound it is.
Okay. Here we go. Great. Looks like next step is going to be to set our club schedule. If we look here, it says choose a date that's at least 3 weeks from today. Now, can I start today? I'm like really excited.
You absolutely can start today. There is a tab where you can download the materials for the specific theme. However, if you want ship materials, like the ones I showed you guys earlier, like the passport and the certificate and the headphones, we want a 3-week leading time. So we have enough time to give you guys the materials and make sure you guys get them properly.
All right, so that's really nice. You can pick something 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out from today, maybe October 20th?
That sounds good.
Okay. And what time do you want to run your club? I mean, morning, noon, night? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking let's run it during a regular school day.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Can you do that?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, you can be a computer science teacher, you can be a STEM teacher, or you can be an English teacher. Anyone can use CS First at any time. So you can set the schedule. Let's do 11 a.m.
Okay, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. And we'll do it at an hour.
Okay.
Let's 12 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent. That helps out. You said an English teacher, they could run music and sound, but I think storytelling might be right up their alley. It might give them an opportunity to integrate some of the things they're talking about. I know some of the days are, climax, characterization.
Yep, setting.
All right.
So all of that can be folded into whatever curriculum you're doing.
Sweet.
Yep.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead and click Set the First Day. You'll notice that our first day is October 20th, 11 to 12 p.m. And while it does fill in all of the days for us, you actually have a lot of control here. So say on day 7 or day 8, you're getting, kids are really wanting to share a little bit more or, show off their project. Maybe you want to bump this up, goes into a lunch period, I'm not sure. Maybe on day 5, you just can't meet during the day. Maybe your students have a test or something and you say, hey, let's meet after school. So let's meet from 3:30 to 4:30. What's really exciting about that is, it does give you that control that we talked about earlier. So feel free to play with that and do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save Schedule.
All right.
Okay. What do you think's next?
All right, now here's the part about the club materials. You have the option of saying, yes, you would like the headphones and the ship materials, or no. Joe is going to click yes.
Okay.
So
do I want both?
We want both.
How much
You do want the headphones.
Do they cost anything?
This doesn't cost anything. As we are targeting access, we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to experience CS First Club. No strings attached. So all of our materials are free.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, give me 1 second here. I think it was Paramount?
Yep.
South Carolina. Cool. And of course, we're in the United States. And I'm just going to check right here. The headphones are actually loaners. We expect you to return those eventually, but keep them as long as you want, and don't feel like you have to rush to get those back to us. Looks like I missed the zip here, so 29403. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and request some materials. Okay. Just confirming that I have the music and sound theme. That's great. Now, the technology checklist is really a resource for you to make sure that you are all set up for your CS First Club. So as you're doing the technology checklist, go to the computer lab or the space that you're going to run your CS First Club in and actually test some of the websites. Test Scratch, test to make sure the videos work. Just make sure everything is seamless so that when you get there day 1, your students are good to go. You can come back at any point as you're setting up this club. You can come back and make sure that you have the time to do this. So right now, I'm not in my lab space, so I'm going to go ahead and hit exit and resume later. So I'll be able to sign in and come back to this. Great. So where exactly are we now? Is my club done, Taylor?
It is incomplete, and the checkboxes indicate what you need to do to finish your club, to finish setting it up.
So it looks like maybe I should just hit this one right here. I'm going to do Edit Club.
Yep.
Okay. I'm in my club dashboard, right?
Right. And so you can see the schedule, the theme, the club materials, the checklist, and other specifics about your club and its location.
Cool. So I know that I have to do the technology checklist. I'm looking at my location details. Looks like I can plug that in a little bit, make sure that turns blue. Now, I've got a couple of questions around gurus and hosts. So, what's a guru?
That's a great question. The gurus are our volunteers, our community persons who help facilitate and run the CS First Club. The gurus can be a host, so you could also facilitate and host the club, Or it could be a parent, it could be a teacher, it could be another student. However you guys want to do that, that's what a guru is.
Can I reach out to like a business maybe?
Absolutely. Anybody who's invested in your school or is just really passionate about working with kids and has a good time. They don't have to have a computer science background, and they don't have to have an education background. Just want someone who wants to be there.
Cool. Well, I noticed that I can actually add another host as well. I know there's maybe teachers in the building that are excited about this. So if I click add another host, I just under their email and go ahead and click send, right?
That's right. And then they'll accept that invitation, and they'll be able to see your club dashboard as well.
Cool. Really great. So that's pretty much setting up a CS First Club. Again, emails if you've got any questions. I think we've covered almost all of this. I know there are some questions from the audience, but before we get to them, I just want to point out one final thing, and this is your unique URL that you would give your students on day one so that they can get their accounts and passwords automatically created. And really, this saves you about 30 to 40 minutes. In setting things up, kids mistype things, totally okay, but we wanted to provide something that makes it simple for you. So, for example, my unique URL is cs-first.com/gloves, and each one of the words at the very end will vary, and that will be your unique URL.
It's specific to each club, populating and giving the students a CS First ID, which works both on the website and on Scratch, and a password that you can then later save.
Awesome. Well, this has been great. I think we do have a couple of questions. Let's go to those right now. The first one is, with a focus on videos, how do you keep the club collaborative and social? That's a great question. I don't know what you feel, but.
I mean, there are two parts to that. One being the host, making sure that the students aren't driving each other crazy, but they're actually having a good experience with CS First and having a positive attitude as they're experiencing computer science, maybe for the first time. Also, on our end, we have implemented the Showcase Selector, as well as some prompts inside of our video so that they can ask a neighbor and they can showcase their project and share their projects, like game design. You can have two-player games. So some of that is on what you're doing inside the club, and others is what we put inside the club plans.
And we're throwing a lot of words and vocabulary around, and you might be saying, Showcase Selector, Agenda Timer, what is this? And I just want to say that as you look at the resources on the website, specifically really the training tab, you're going to become much more comfortable and familiar with this. And by the time you step into a club to host it or to be a guru on it, you're going to be really comfortable. And the nice thing is, like you said, those resources are there for you. And they're really designed to make this easy and engaging.
And definitely smooth computer science experience.
Okay.
All right, so let's do another question. Let's see. I'm really not tech savvy. What do I need to know to run the program?
That's actually a great question that I just sort of pointed out. What do you need to know? In all reality, you need to know that you need students, a computer, computers, you need access to the internet, and you just need to go to our website, play around, play on Scratch, watch the training videos, poke around in the club plans. Do I like scripts? Do I not like scripts? Totally up to you. Just get comfortable and familiar. But we've had people that range from 18 years old to 80 years old running and facilitating our clubs. So if you're thinking, is this for me? Anyone can really do it, which is super exciting.
And you mentioned Scratch. What is Scratch?
Scratch is actually a tool. It's a programming website that was developed by MIT. It's scratch.mit.edu, and essentially this programming language is like they're like digital Legos. The students sort of snap them together, and as they put more and more pieces together, that's how they build their programs. And it is just amazing to see some of the things that they come up with. I'll share one real quick. There was a student who actually adapted their CS First project to do a science project, and they made this crazy T-Rex story, and it had all these facts about dinosaurs, and it was really awesome to see that person be able to take what they learned in our club and then actually turn in a real project during school. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
And the best part about Scratch is that it's really fun for the users, but it's still teaching the same core concepts that they will learn in college if they pursue a CS education.
All right, next question. So this is actually a great question, and it's one that comes up often. So how old are the students in the programs, or what grade are they in?
Right. So our target age group is for middle schoolers, so 6th through 8th grade, but we have worked with many different ages in the area and outside of the area. So we would recommend 4th through 9th grade. If you go a little bit younger, you might face some challenges with students operating the computer, understanding what a tab is, and kind of just navigating in general. And then if you go a little bit older, you'll definitely find that students are a lot harder to catch after school. They have jobs, they have other after-school activities. So 4th through 9th grade is really that sweet spot.
Yeah, and 4th through 9th grade, again, if you think it's appropriate for your 3rd graders, if you think your 10th graders will be interested in it, we encourage you just to try it.
Go for it.
There's no limitation. We're not going to say no. And we've even heard stories about 7-year-olds sort of whipping through the curriculum and being really engaged and excited about it. So another question I'd love to hear you.
So how do you target the program to girls and minorities?
Yeah, go for it.
Me? Okay, sure.
I'll add my 2 cents.
Yeah, so one part being that our clubs are collaborative and social. It gives the students a really nice, healthy environment to make mistakes, to debug their code for the first time. And this could be through the social plan of the club plans, but this could also be through the volunteers, the gurus, and you, the teacher host, being in the classroom and making that club supportive. Another thing that we do is that we have diverse images inside of our projects that the students are creating, and we make sure that we emphasize both males and females when they're creating certain things. So there are some club things coming up, like we mentioned, sports and fashion, and those are topics and kind of fun things that students who are interested in can actually go into that club and still learn computer science. So I'm a girl. I enjoy fashion. I like shopping. I think I'm going to love the computer science education program, CS First, and that's what I do. And then I have a really nice supportive atmosphere.
Yeah, and to really just drive home that point, Taylor, you answered it just perfectly. One of the things to point out is the themes is really unique in sort of computer science programs. There's a lot of high quality stuff out there. What we wanted to do as a team is really say, how can we connect to students? Right. And so to have theme-based curricula like music and sound, like game design, it just sort of gives them that entry point where they can walk into a club and not be intimidated by, sort of the geeky computer science stereotype of them sitting in the basement coding at 3 a.m. Right. So thanks for answering that. Let's go ahead. This is going to be our last question of the night. Thank you to everyone that has submitted those. What metrics do you use to figure out if the program is working?
I'll let you do that one.
Great. We have several metrics. The first one is one of the reasons we provide that unique URL for you is so that you can track your attendance to see where students are. So the first one is, are students sort of persisting through the club? Are they staying for day 1 or are they coming back for day 2?
Right.
And we've seen some really positive results around this. So, we're hoping the students are getting through days 1 through 8, maybe even returning to a club.
And with that, when the students share their work, you can actually click on their CS First ID and the dashboard and see their projects. So if you haven't checked on a student for a couple of club days, but they're coming, and you want to see what they've done, you can actually see what their projects are that they've shared.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's just a couple of the metrics. I know I've had a great time being here tonight. Taylor, it's always lovely to do things with you. We wanted to say thank you one more time to Brad for sharing his story. Really important to hear somebody with a real life experience. I want to thank
We want to thank our audiences out there, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, wherever. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Okay, and just one more time, go to our website. It's cs-first.com, and we hope to see you start a club. So thank you.
Have a great night, guys. Or great afternoon.
Or morning.